Is Augustus Doricko.
Pleasure.
Who are you? What do you do?
My name's Augustus Doricko. I run Rainmaker. We're the biggest cloud seeding company in the United States, and we're making more water for farms, ecosystem restoration, hydroelectric utilities, and ski resorts by flying drones into clouds that aren't naturally precipitating and then making them rain or snow more.
Uh-oh.
I'm Shane Cashman. If I were king, I would ban this because it's sky terrorism. But I'm happy you're here.
Dude, I would love to talk about it.
I'm stoked to talk about it.
Yeah. I just look right at Shane. I'm like waiting for him to say that clouds don't exist.
I've been telling them about weather manipulation for years. Everyone laughs at me. I'm like, well, the face of Big Cloud is right here.
How do you reconcile cloud seeding with the fact that there's not even any clouds?
Well, there's clouds. He just keeps mutilating them.
Well, where are the clouds coming from?
Yeah.
Cultivating.
You're not cultivating. You're destroying God's beauty.
You ever heard of air soul invigoration of convection, bro?
Tell me about it, bro.
We make them bigger, the clouds.
Yeah, I don't like it.
You like small clouds.
I think we should leave it alone.
Do we get rid of the dams on the rivers?
Well, that's engineering. What you're doing is like Oppenheimer.
First of all,
you don't know what unintended consequences you're doing by interfering with nature.
Yeah, but Oppenheimer.
And you're a privatized war machine that was started in war, and now you're doing it under the guise of masquerading to help farmers. But in the future, I imagine you'll be creating fake rain for data centers that your friends in Silicon Valley will be building everywhere.
My friends, I just disavowed my friends in Silicon Valley.
Not enough. Not enough.
What do you need fake rain for data centers for?
Data centers soak up lots of water, right?
They kind of do, but they're mostly closed loop circuits, so they don't actually consume that.
Have you not said in interviews you're going to drop fake rain for data centers?
It's real rain, actually, but
it's fake.
It's fake rain from fake clouds.
It's silver iodide. They roll their eyes, but this is a very real issue.
We can get into toxicological thresholds, bro. If you want to do
You're just going to keep deflecting with big words. I'd like to keep it blue collar.
Okay. Safe. Big, fluffy, natural, safe.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful rain, wet farms, wet data centers. So the specific question is...
you started saying words that no one understood.
The silver iodide stuff is all
but it's not good. We don't know. There's two scientists that just testified 4 days ago before Congress saying they don't even understand what the buildup of silver iodide is going to do to the water and to the soil. And you can mention 80 years of data, but Fauci has 8 years of vaccines, and we know that's safe and effective.
Yeah, but hold on. I mean, what you're basically saying is because we can't study the long-term effects multi-decade, we shouldn't do anything?
We should not interfere with nature in the way I think cloud seeding is.
Well,
but real quick, he made a point about dams.
Right, that's working with...
That wiped out cities.
That's working, yeah, and I get it. That's working with nature. That like irrigation, building dams, that's like an engineering I can get behind. But what you're doing... I don't agree with because I believe, and I know your website says you're not playing God. I like that you have that in FAQs, but I think you are playing God.
Well, okay, so just for one point of context, can I ask if you're religious?
I believe in Jesus Christ.
Okay, yeah. No, Christ is Lord. Love that guy. Saved my life 4 years ago. I've got one theological point and then one like technical point, right? The theological point that I think matters a lot is trying to live out the dominion mandate that God gave us in Genesis at the beginning of time, right? He told us to steward and work the garden. He told us to take dominion over the earth, the seas, and the skies, not just for our benefit, but for the sake of creation's well-being and his glorification through that. And if farms are collapsing due to drought, if ecosystems like the Colorado River are collapsing due to drought, and we have a means, sort of like building a dam to store more water, to keep those ecosystems and farms alive for our benefit, if it is in fact safe, and I'd have to prove that it is safe, and you should not just trust me, but verify it otherwise, then we'd actually be abdicating our responsibility to God to take care of his creation.
God didn't say to synthesize silver iodide in labs.
Yeah, I mean,
we don't know, and we don't know
light bulbs either.
Yeah, but we don't know how that will affect our food, aquatic life.
No, so
but let me just respond. I mean, what you're talking about applies to like millions of products.
Well, there's a lot of things I don't agree with.
Like the wave of fluorescent lights and the chemicals that were in that cause ecological damage, and like don't breathe it in, it'll kill you, and it's spreading in landfills. And
I agree, there is a lot. But since the cloud seeding guy's here, I'm talking about cloud seeding. And I'm talking about how I think, you know, that I believe it will be a danger because in my sense, to me, a lot of what you're doing plus stuff in Silicon Valley is a Tower of Babel.
So the reason I bring that up, and I'm asking you this, is would you say something similar to like the giant lithium batteries in hybrid cars or electric cars?
Well, I totally disagree with electric cars.
So we should. What about the oil accumulation from engines and things like that?
I think it's bad, but like I don't think we should have people in the skies manipulating weather patterns. I know those things are
I
bad.
get it.
I know things are bad. I don't agree with
Like,
vaccines.
I'm just trying to understand where your line is, right? So, like, should we ban plastic use? I'm actually.
I mean, plastics are very bad for you.
yeah, I'm in favor of getting rid of plastic.
I try to use glass and stuff, but even
Right,
that
we
is
do the same
sometimes
thing.
lined with microplastics.
Sure, totally. So like I think we should do everything possible to have safe, healthy products around us, right? Like we shouldn't be wearing microplastics all the time. We shouldn't be eating a bunch of MSG and like artificial high fructose corn syrup. But I mean, it tastes good, but it's bad for you, I think. But then the question is, there's two, right? Do we actually know like the thresholds after which using silver iodide to make precipitation would be problematic for ecosystems or otherwise? The answer is yes. So if you look at, there's this one study, gets quoted all the time. It's called like potential risks of acute silver iodide exposure, something to that effect. The lowest threshold of silver iodide concentration in water that can have any adverse effect on freshwater bacteria. Those are the most sensitive organisms that could be affected by this. It's about 101 parts per billion. If you look at the seeded clouds with the highest concentrations of silver iodide in them, you're floating at around 30 parts per billion. So just in the artificial rain, let's call it the man-made rain, you're still 30%, or you're still 70% lower than the absolute lowest threshold for any toxicity to anything in the environment, way below what it would take to impede human life, crops, any larger system. So there's that for one. And then the second thing is like most natural precipitation actually occurs because little dust particles in the cloud are what the water droplets or the water vapor freezes onto, grows into big snowflakes, and then precipitates. It just so happens that silver iodide is one of the more effective materials for that. And so it's mimicry of what God's process for precipitation looks like already.
Oh, what if you did organic cloud seeding with natural dust particles?
Well, then that goes into, I don't think we should be manipulating it at all. Like the silver
gotta-
iodide is just one part of it. Like I don't think messing at all.
Well, then we got to get rid of all of the coal plants and the nuclear plants and the nat gas plants and the solar farms
There's
because
a
they
lot
all
of
modify
issues.
the weather too.
I mean, yeah, there's fake clouds. You're just one facet of the fake cloud hierarchy because there's also different things that are happening within our evaporation and in the water supply. I mean, sure, with birth control in the water.
This is
Bad.
And I think I'm not trying to say you've not made the point. You made the point that there's a lot of things are bad. You're addressing this one. I look at like mercury dumping in the ocean and rivers.
Mm-hmm.
And when you talk about silver iodide and things like that, when we are damming rivers or redirecting them and then using them as waste, like refuse like dumps, I see that as largely the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's terrible. I mean,
But are we gonna then like, should we invoke severe like environmental restrictions on companies? You know, we have the Clean Water Restoration Act, very famous because it was the Ohio River, I think, burst into flames.
Yes.
Was it the Ohio River?
Yep.
Started on fire because of all the chemicals that were being mixed into it. And what happened was, it wasn't that any one group was like, let's dump toxic chemicals that burst into flames. It was that each company was dumping a little bit. And so when we were like, yo, why is our river on fire? They were like, don't look at me. I only dumped a little bit. And it's like, yeah, well, all of you were doing it at the same time.
Yep.
So someone had to regulate that avalanche. Otherwise,
I do
it gets
think
worse.
we need it. And I'm not like a climate alarmist. You know, like I'm not like an AOC and with the cow farts. But I grew up on the Hudson River in New York, right behind across the river from an IBM place where they could legally dump all their sewage into the river. You know, and I think that was insane. There was a big sign on the train tracks that said that. But yeah, I mean, like there's 31 states right now trying to outlaw you.
Well, so there were 3 states did. I said this the other day publicly. Like I know, and over the course of this conversation, we've been ragging on tech companies. Totally deserved. Like most tech companies have no concern for the American people. Most corporations have no concern for the well-being of like the environment that we live in. Most tech companies don't really care about America's national interests at all. And so I am very sympathetic to people being default suspicious or skeptical or even hateful of tech companies. Like I get that. That's why with people, you've been fairly polite and I appreciate that. But like people,
I've called you a ghoul on Twitter.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. His booker ghosted me because of it, but I'm glad we're here now.
No, likewise. But like I understand that people don't expect tech companies to build real solutions for real people. You don't have to be a climate alarmist to say like the Ogallala Aquifer in the Midwest is being depleted and farms from the Dakotas all the way down to Texas are going to collapse because of it. The Colorado River barely makes it to Mexico and all the species dependent on it are going to die if we don't make more water there. The Central Valley of California, people have been farming there for 100 years. they're not going to be able to anymore unless we produce more water. And there's a bunch of other things like managing our existing water table better that we should do too. And even all of that said, we should scrutinize and regulate cloud seeding, right? Because we don't want anybody to be adding any material to the atmosphere. And the states that we operate in now, Utah, their Department of Natural Resources regulates the materials we use. Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation does that as well. That's great. I think the federal government should do that too. But we shouldn't like ban it because there's prospective unintended consequences on the toxicological side or on the water table side that we actually can model out and show like what the effects are.
We do got to go to super chats.
Yeah, we're my show right now.
Right.
But I hear you. And when I called you a ghoul, it wasn't because I was blaming you for the floods. Like, I think you were kind of a patsy for that, honestly. I thought you were a ghoul for the PR tour you did, and the company, which I disagree with. And I'm worried about how, I mean, I don't have to get into the whole thing, but like the whole Peter Thiel world is not good to me. And I think it's anti-human. And I think we need to regulate what you guys are doing to the earth. Because I know what you're saying, but it sounds like Neuralink to me. When Elon's saying, we're going to help you out in the short term, but in the long term, you're building a dystopia. And I wish you would redirect because I think you're very smart. I wish you would redirect that brilliance to something a little less dystopian.
Like cloud seeding acid rain over Silicon Valley.
Just stop messing with the sky,
Dude,
you're monopolizing it.
I think you might have pegged me as the wrong guy. Totally get why, but
Why is that?
I don't think that I'm the tech bro that you think I am.
I think you are.
I understand, but I think we can talk about that more.
But dude, I would love to have you on my show.
Maybe we should do a culture war and add like 2 other elements of the discussion on environmental factors. Like
I would love to have the
change
conversation.
person.
I mean, I feel the way I feel. I'm not going to change it. But I appreciate that you have the conversation.
Well, maybe, I don't know, man. Like if you give me good points, then I'll change my mind.
Yeah. I don't think that'll happen. You're a Thiel fellow.
And I am a. No, I can't say that publicly. Yeah.
You are a brother in Christ, though. You are a brother in Christ.
Well, yeah, but beware wolves in sheep's clothing.
Exactly.
Like, don't trust that just because I say it.
And I'm petitioning you to stop mutilating the sky.
Mutilating.
I'm petitioning you to help us take care of our farms and ecosystems that are collapsing.
And I would like to see you do it in a different way.
Let's meet in the middle. We'll figure that one out.
I don't know about that.
No, I think that we should dig a giant canal straight into the Sahara Desert and just pump seawater straight into it, and then artificially create streams and tributaries and all that to bring it back.
No, bro, but then the evaporation would make clouds, and he doesn't.
There's a lot of stuff that's going on in the ground and in the
What
water
about
that's
Vegas?
bad too. Vegas has got to go.
Yeah. Just
Gotta go. That's for so many.
All right, we gotta get super chats.
I'm going to my show right now.
Inverted World.
Inverted World Live, 10 o'clock, YouTube, Rumble. See you there. Thank you guys. Augustus, I appreciate you talking.
Dude, it was a pleasure.